Hey, I'm Espen Kraft, thanks for watching. This is the new Roland JX-08, a digital emulation of the classic Roland JX-8P, one of my favorite synthesizers ever. And Roland sent me this to see how I like it compared to the original. So I'm going to do that in this video. But since the YouTube is going to be flooded with comparisons videos of these two synthesizers pretty soon, if not already, I'm going to do this in a kind of different way. I have taken all my custom patches for the 8P and programmed them into the JX-08 step by step. I had to make them from scratch. That's a real downside to the JX-08, no sysx. But I've made the patches to the best of my ability. I've programmed the effects section of the JX-08 and every parameter as close as I can to the original patches, which was kind of hard because there are different kind of envelopes, different kinds of filter on the JX-08, so it doesn't match up 100%. That's impossible, but as close as I can. So I've made a track in MIDI. So I'm triggering the JX-8P and I'm triggering the JX-08. The arrangement is the same and everything is the same, except for maybe the sound. You'll be the judge. I'm going to play you two different versions of the demo track. One is the 8P, one is the 08, but I'm not going to tell you which is which until after the demo track. So here it goes. Well, did you guess it? The first one, A, was the 8P. The second one, B, was the 08. But to complicate it even further or illuminate you even further, I'm going to throw in a third entry. I'm going to throw in the PG8X emulation as well to see how that stacks up to the 8P and the 08. So here we go. So on the first fader, we have the JX8P. The second fader is the JX-08, and the third fader is the PG8X. So, what are my conclusions? Well, to give you that, I have to tell you a little story first, so bear with me. You see, when I grew up, we spent all our Christmases, all family gatherings at my grandparents' house. And my grandmother, she was a wonderful woman, full of life, vibrant, colorful, energetic. And everything around her was just fantastic being a kid and growing up in her presence. And one day, she died. And in Norway, it's legal by law after the doctors has declared a natural cause of death and no foul play has been committed to have the body of your loved one taken to a taxidermist and basically have their body stuffed, to have the body to remind you of all the good times. And we did that. We put our grandmother in a chair, and as new Christmases and family gatherings would come and go, she would always sit there in her favorite chair with a faint smile on her face and with those glassy eyes. And at first glance, it seemed like she was alive. But upon closer inspection, it soon became apparent that she was in fact stone dead. And that's how I feel about the 08 as well, and all the boutiques from Roland actually. At first glance, when you play it the first time, it sort of gives you the good feelings of the classic synths it's trying to emulate. But the more you play it, the more you realize it's actually dead in the sound. I think the 08 sounds incredibly stale and dead compared to the real 8P. And not only that, the PG8X totally crushes it as a 8P emulation. So if you're really only after the 8P sound, but don't want to shell out for the real thing, and you don't have any need for physical buttons or faders, you should definitely go for the PG8X as a 8P emulation, because it's hands down the best emulation of a classic synth on the market. No other emulation of classic synths comes close to the PG8X, which is also C6 compatible, and you can even control a real 8P from the PG8X, and it's totally free. That said, the 08 used sparingly one sound together with other sounds from other synths can definitely give you a good result, and it sort of reminds me of the 8P, but it's not. But it does have the arpeggiator, shader, a sequencer, more polyphony than the real thing. It has knobs and faders, and in all that, it's a good synth, but it's just not a 8P. I don't think Roland has hit the mark at all, actually, with the 08. If you want the real thing, there's only one thing that will suffice, and that is to get your hands on a real 8P. If you want to hear the 3 different versions in a lossless WAV file format, please head over to my Patreon page where you can download both the 8P, the 08 and the PG8X versions of this demo track. As always, I'm Espen Kraft, and you're not. Until we see each other again, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Oh, that story about my dead grandmother? Well, that was just made up to illustrate my point.